experience do you have that helps you understand the business issues facing Congressional District 14?
I spent a good part of my life working in some of the major businesses you have, both energy and in the chemical industry and the refining industry. I understand the problems that they face. I understand what causes plants to close. I've been a part of them. I feel like that I understand enough that I could be a very real help in getting the regulation removed, needs to be removed from the federal level until you can change something more permanently. I've run a small business for some times in my life, and I understand the nature of what that is. We need to simplify things for those businessmen and women who carry those businesses out. I have always been one that tries to finish the important things and make sure that the important things get done. The federal government is a level that needs to be unintrusive of those in its states and its counties and cities. We need to look at our role in that perspective, and where there is intrusion, remove it. And I feel very strongly that I understand what those things mean. I had the opportunity to earn a law degree here a few years ago while I was unemployed. I was unemployed for 7 years. It was an interesting experience. I understand what it's like for those who are not in union and what you have to do. You don't quit. You keep working. You keep trying to find something that you can do. I went to law school during that time while I was looking for a job. We have a great nation. We've been given a great heritage. It's our responsibility by how we vote to keep that heritage. I'm Mark Mansius. I would appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Next up, we have Bill Sargent. What experience do you have that helps you understand the business issues facing Congressional District 14?
What experience do I have that helps me understand business? I was a real estate broker for many years, managing broker as well as owner of a company. And I can tell you that I understand the relationship between credit and the ability to buy a home. One year I sold 37 houses, $1 million sales club, top producer, and all that. But that was back when credit was available. Now, thanks to, or perhaps I should say, no thanks to Barty Frank and Chris Dodd, risky loans were pushed upon lenders. The rest is history. We now have a shortage of money available for credit. I understand the relationship between those two things. Let me ask you all a question real quickly. Raise a hand. How many people here are from businesses that export? Raise your hand if you're. Okay. I used to work for the Bureau of Export Administration in Commerce, part of the Commerce Department. And in that role, my responsibility was to help exporters understand the export control regulations. I don't know if you know it or not, but 5% of our exports are controlled, dual-use exports are controlled for national security purposes. Things that can be used for nuclear weapons, chemical or biological weapons, delivery systems of those kinds of weapons. And we control those things. And throughout all the time, I mean, I was part of the call center as well as at seminars around the country. And part of where I was coming from when I was doing that regulatory job was, how can I help you export your product without that product going into the hands of a person who shouldn't get it? That was the motivation. That's where I was coming from the whole time, and that's what I trained the people who work for me to do. Oftentimes now what we see are regulators who are saying, no, you can't do that. All right? We need to get back to working in a way that we control things that need to be controlled, and we do it in a way that helps business and doesn't stand in the way of business doing their job. Now, I'm new to this race, and for me it's a learning experience, because I don't know what each one of your businesses has as a major issue. And so I ask you, stop by after we finish this time together and talk to me about what your issues are, because that's what a representative is supposed to do. Listen to his constituents and then go to Washington and represent them. So So I want to learn from you. That's important to me. Thank you for your time. Thank you all for having me. I ask your vote. I'm Bill Sargent. I'm the experienced one running for Congress. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Next up, we have John Gay. What experience do you have that helps you understand the business issues facing Congressional District 4?
This is a good question. You need to have someone that has experience. We don't want someone with a lot of political experience, I don't think, because the politicians go along to get along. We need somebody with practical experience, in my opinion. You know, on our mantle at home, my wife and I, we found pictures of each of us. They're like 2 inch by 3 inch that show each of us with a fishing pole on our shoulder and holding a big fish at about age 7. We were taught to fish, not given to fish. We were both raised in homes that had family businesses. We both were put to work at about age 7 in the family businesses. We're a strong team working together. We currently are both auctioneers. She started the auction business about 10 years ago while I was a school district administrator. Part of my experiences, you have to put yourself in someone else's shoes to have experience. You need a variety of experience. I wouldn't have planned my life the way it turned out. I had a lot of health issues as a child and was not expected to live, but I overcame and I kept living. I kept working. I graduated from high school at age 16. I joined the Coast Guard, so I've got military experience. I know what it is to serve and be far away from home. I became a strategic account manager for AT&T, solving problems for them. When I left, they said, John, we don't say thank you enough. Pick an office. Tell us what your title is. Tell us what you do for us. Tell us how much we pay. No, because you don't treat the customer right. I care about people and their issues. That's why we've come up with this website, IWantMyFutureBack.org, where you can go and vote on the issues daily, hourly. And I get real-time mandate from the people telling me what you want and what your issues are. I've already told you I'm focusing mainly on borders, energy, and economy, because just about all of our issues boil down to one of those 3. But I want to know specifically what your issues are. I moved my young family to Texas on a school bus, and we lived on that school bus for about 8 months. We used an ice chest for a refrigerator. In the summertime, we had to place ice every day. In the wintertime, we were able to leave it outside and keep it cold. I went from there and I went to A&M. I quit my job in Dallas and moved to A&M because I felt like I needed to get my education. And then I applied. I didn't know you're supposed to apply first. I'm sorry. They sent me a nice letter saying, you're not qualified to go to A&M. I sent them a letter back and I said, I may not be qualified, but I'm here until you accept me, until I finish the course, until I graduate. So the sooner you accept me, the sooner you get rid of me. Now I'm a graduate from A&M. I was working as a full-time, my wife divorced me early on when I started college, and I ended up as a single parent with full custody of my 2 children, raising my children full-time, going to school full-time, and working full-time. And I was thinking, how do I provide for my children while I'm a full-time student? And I prayed and I said, Lord, help me. You said in Deuteronomy, after you lived in goodly homes and had these nice things, don't say it's your hand that's gotten you this wealth. And the Lord blessed me. I asked the national sales manager, do you mind if I try to close some of these sales? He said, you can't hurt anything now. It's the last day of the fiscal year. I closed $264,000 worth of job, my $264,000 worth of business, my first day on the job. I'm John Gay. I'm a problem solver. I appreciate your vote. Thank you.